That was kind of weird. All of a sudden it said my computer needed a restart, and then it just kind of restarted itself. But yeah, that was weird. I guess the computer was like, okay, no more cooking, time to eat. Oh, that was so weird. What's going on? But hopefully things are working okay now. But yeah, I don't think it's feasible for somebody to just like walk behind someone and like backstab them on a narrow bridge. Cause like suspension bridges are really weird, right? Like they kind of swing to side. If I was a guy with like a super heavy metal ball attached to my feet and chains, I don't think I would want to like go clunk, 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 and then walk and go, oh, and then clunk, clunk, clunk. You know, this has got to be a different person. Like, I don't believe that is him. Chris Market is no, not the hemorrhoids. The bridge is so near that Larry busts his brains out. That's crazy. His one singular brain cell. Welcome back. Thank you, Bloody Master. Evil tech. Is the loading okay for you guys, actually? Let me double check my connection and everything before we continue. Okay, it looks okay from my side now. Okay, cool. Okay, I'm gonna keep going. But thank you guys for waiting for me. Okay, he does a pensive Aha, the truth is becoming clear to me now. Huh? Yes, it's quite obvious. He's clearly guilty. Not again. That's not fair. I haven't even done my cross-examination yet. What do you mean, Events on Dusky Bridge. Welcome back. Thank you, Alpha. Is your OBS clear? I think it was less of an OBS issue this time. I think it was a computer issue. It said something like my computer encountered an error, and then it just like self-restarted itself. It was kind of weird. I think it's the first time my computer has done this, so I gotta look into it later. Events on Dusky Bridge. Actually, there's an eyewitness who was there when the incident took place. Eyewitness. Okay. Who is this eyewitness? She's a college student. Dahlia. Going on side missions again, aren't you? A female college student? That's right, meaning she's a female and a college student, ma'am. Thanks, Gumshoe. She doesn't do well in front of other people, so I can testify for her. Maybe so, but as the attorney for the defense, I have the right to cross-examine her. Why is Dahlia literally everywhere? For the time being, we're not relying on the witness's statements, that is all. What is that supposed to mean? The prosecution has other, more decisive evidence. Why doesn't anyone want to bring her up? Our case doesn't rest on the vague testimony of a female college student. Female college student, eh? I mean, she's female and a college student, sir. Got it, thanks, Gumshoe. And if you absolutely must hear her testimony, you'll have to give us a good reason why. Please tell us about the more decisive evidence in question. This photo was accidentally taken by the witness. Strange. Victim is wearing a scarf in that photo, alright. So about the witness who took this photo, what was this person doing all the way in the mountains? She was taking photos of wildflowers, apparently, and just so happened to catch this. There are many unusual types of flora on that mountain, Miss Faye. People in the area say it's because of the spirits that live there. Spirits? Now that you mention it, this photo. This cloudy fog-like thing. Is it a ghost? I don't believe it. No, Your Honor, I don't think it's a ghost. It was drizzling that day. Unfortunately, it's a little hard to see what's going on. I have a feeling the photo is the one we should be focusing on. Drizzling, huh? That's right. There was light rain coming down. The whole place was dreary. But not as dreary as the mood that's in this courtroom right now, huh? That glare that the judge does sends me. Looks like a cold front just moved in. In any case, the point is that the area was quite damp. There was even some fog. So, by that logic, you could say that there was fog. You couldn't even see people's faces. The fact that she's also wearing a hat, like, why is she wearing a hat if there's fog? How do you see the wildflowers you're supposed to be taking pictures of? Not somebody trying to hide what they look like. I even slipped and fell when I was on the bridge. It was really something. Is that part of the witness's testimony as well? Of course it is. He pushed the victim hard in the back and she fell down right on her stomach. No, that doesn't make sense given their placing. I remember that happening once myself. It was really brutal. Using the right brutal, Judge? Are you talking about seeing someone get pushed, or were you the one getting pushed? Does it mean that you pushed someone down like that once? Oh no. With his mind-boggling tales and the way you said brutal, I wonder if he's Canadian. I love how that's the conclusion she came up with. She's like, ah, yes, must be Canadian. Ha! Save your nasty look for the right person, huh? Take a look. Poor baby, the court record seems to have wet itself. Hey, which where do you spill your coffee? Oh my gosh, there's actually a coffee stain on the table. The court record, huh? How could you push someone in the back like that? She's not even facing the back. It was a struggle between the victim and the criminal, huh? That's what the witness said. Well, looks like she didn't remember about the scarf, but from what she said, it sounded like a pretty violent fight, ma'am. The area was wet from rain, the bridge was probably wet too, which would explain why the scarf is all covered in mud, but something else about this testimony. Talk about a surprise, I had no idea there was a photo. So, what do I do? Really? Still believe him? Mr. Crybaby, I mean? Of course I do. So the little kitten believes in fairy tales, huh? In that case, the answer is obvious. If what you believe is the truth, then that means that somewhere hidden in that testimony is a contradiction. One huge contradiction waiting to be discovered. That's your chance. I think I see the vision. Yes, it was drizzling that day. No, it's the statement. The statement is wrong. Is that part of the witness's testimony? Of course it is. He pushed the victim hard in the back. No, that doesn't make sense. We're gonna present the photo, I think. Yeah, I think it's this. Shove the victim down from behind and stabbed her in the back. No, that's not possible. Oh, shoot. No, huh? Ah, with a penalty. Okay, let me think about this again. No, huh? Shove the victim down from behind and stab her in the back. Let me see what else I have. Oh, no. Okay, maybe I need to establish one more thing. Let me go through these again. That was the placement. So they're saying, yes, she is female and a college student. Okay. No, we will not call her in. Okay. Let's see. And this photo was actually taken by the witness. It shows the wearing a scarf, sir. Indeed, she is wearing a scarf. Another thing that's strange is the hat. Where's the hat? Do we annoy him about the hat and be like, but she also has a hat. Do you have the hat, don't you? What's this person doing all the way in the mountain? She was taking photos of wildflowers. I wonder if the hat's significant. Spirits. Is it a ghost? It was drizzling. Okay, this is fair. This is not a statement to refute. There's something with this photo they keep showing us. It's quite damp. I think it slipped and fell. Stabbed with a knife in the back. She fell on her stomach would explain why her scarf is dirty, because the front part of the scarf, like the ends are towards the front. So if she were to fall forwards, that could explain why the scarf got dirty. I still think the positioning is a little strange though. Is it not the positioning? I feel like this positioning is the... Wait, let me see what Armando said again. The court record. He's telling us to look at the court record, I have this. The criminal shoved the victim down from behind and stabbed her in the back. Stabbed in the back. Bridge located. Already. Trunk of the car. Dang. Wait, didn't I present on the statement? I think I presented on the statement and then I presented the witness's photo, but that was incorrect unless I accidentally pressed something wrong. So, yeah. Yeah, so that's the end thing he says. There's a contradiction. It's really not the bridge, huh? I thought it was the back thing. Let me look at my evidence again. Back thing. Check from blood loss. Located 40 feet. 430. Crime scene photo. Because one thing you can also argue is where... See, because then the hat is a bit of a weaker point, but it is true that she doesn't have a hat right here. But I think the placement is a stronger point. We have the scarf here, and it was found on Dusky Bridge, and it did fall there, and she did fell that. That would make sense. I think this is the strongest piece of evidence here, but how could he have pushed her from the back if he is in front of her? I guess what they're trying to argue maybe is that she might have been in this position right now, but when they were scuffling, maybe she... I mean, this doesn't sound like it logically makes sense, but maybe she turned her back for a second, and he was like, get out of here, and then he, like, pushed her. So that could explain getting pushed in the back and stabbed from the back? She's just, like, standing there with perfect posture. She's just... stand. Oh, thank you so much for the subscription, Bloody Master. Thank you so much for the support. I really appreciate it. Thank you. Doing a think. Let's see. I really thought it was the positioning. Okay, let me look through these statements again. This one is the one where he talks about it being a college student. It was taken by the witness. It shows the victim wearing the scarf. That is true. And also a hat. It was drizzling, so it's hard to see what's going on. That is fair. The criminal shoved the victim down from behind and stabbed her in the back. This one's a little bit like, huh. That must have been when the scarf fell off. That must have been when the scarf fell off. When he shoved her from behind and stabbed her in the back, and then while she was falling, the scarf fell off and it got dirty. That's kind of convenient. It looks like the scarf is really tightly wound around her neck. But I don't think that's something you could present a lot of evidence for and just be like, oh, I just think it wouldn't fall off. It's really not the positioning, huh? It's a little strange. Escape from custody 5 years ago. Hotshot lawyer, my senior and rival, a bit smug. Yeah, no profiles. Is it really not this one? Because it's too early to disprove this one. Because right now, it makes logical sense. I do think it's this one, but for some reason they didn't like that one. Maybe I will try it again from the beginning, and I'll think it through. I'm gonna take a few bites of food while I think. Another thing that's kind of weird is if the fog was so bad and it was hard to see what's going on, why would it be a good photography day, you know? I think the statement is still the most incriminating one. Let me go back to it. Let's see. This one does not matter. This one is true because that is a photo. She is wearing a scarf. It was drizzling. That is true. This, I think this is the right statement, but it didn't like the piece of evidence that I presented for some reason. That must have been when the scarf fell off. This one could potentially, but I don't think it gives us much to work with. Stabbed her in the back. I think this is the statement. Shoved and stabbed in the back. So what do we have here? The autopsy report proves that she was stabbed in the back. Bridge located 40 feet above Eagle River. Confidential police materials written by the victim. No, this one's not applicable. You know what's crazy? The fact there's no blood there. I'm pretty sure it's this photo, but it didn't like when I presented it on this statement. Stabbed her in the back. It's not the scarf. And we can't see her back in this photo, which sucks, because they're saying that they did find her in the trunk right here with the knife lodged in her back. Strange. I really thought this photo would bring us somewhere. The hat's not important right now, probably. Is it really not this one on the statement? I genuinely thought it was. Wait, let me double check that one actually. I presented it on that one first, earlier, but I will just make sure that's not the right one. Yeah, it's not. Okay. Yeah. So that was the one I presented. Okay, let me break down the evidence I have so far. The autopsy report doesn't seem like it would be used here. Died from blood loss. See, the died from blood loss implies that she lost quite a lot of blood. So there should have been blood on the bridge, but there was no blood on the bridge. You see, that part's weird. But then it doesn't seem like the appropriate time to address that. Stabbed her in the back, so that does correlate. Knife in the back. Oh my god, he doesn't say anything about blood here. Confidential. This one is something we used earlier. This is the trunk. We have used the trunk. The scarf. Down from behind. Stabbed her in the back. Stabbed her in the back. And then... You see, I think it's the witness's photo. There's something wrong with the witness's photo. It's really not their positioning, huh? I guess they're discounting it as it's a really big scuffle that happened, and then everyone just kind of got like distorted in different positions. Hello, Corin. How are you? Thanks for stopping by today. And thank you so much for the raid. Let me do a shout out for you. Here we go. How are you? Hello, everyone. How's everyone doing today? I hope everyone's doing well. My name is Early, and it's nice to meet you. We are currently working through the first trial day of Case 4 for Ace Attorney Trials and Tribulations right now. We're trying to figure out which of these statements is the most sussy based on the evidence that we have right now. But aside for Ace Attorney, I also play Honkai Star Rail, Pokemon games, Farm games, the Devil May Cry series, and the Yakuza series. But hi, how was your stream? What did you play today? I hope everyone's doing well. How are you? I'm doing good. How are you, Corin? We're doing a thing. I genuinely feel like it's that statement. The other ones don't sound good. Yeah, she's a college student. Yeah, she is wearing a scarf. Yes, I agree. It was drizzling, so it's hard to see, and it's gotta be this statement. Anyway, the criminal shoved the victim down from behind and then stabbed her in the back, but there was no blood on the bridge. But do we just go like, there's no blood on this bridge? But then this picture is from before the confrontation happened. And then the fact that there's rain could have like washed away some stuff. But it's not the witness's photo, so maybe it's something else, because I do think this statement is the strongest one. There's something I'm not seeing here. Because, let's see, the discrepancies we have so far are, if she got stabbed in the back, and she died from blood loss, there should have been a lot of blood. So this part's a little weird, but they did say they found her in the trunk with the knife in her back, but that's also like, there's no blood. But then we also can't like see what the back looks like. It just doesn't look like there's blood in the car. But then she's, like, we can't see her back, so we can't see the dagger in her back. We only see the front here. And then this picture shows us that she was facing him. Something. Pretty good. I checked out again. It was really fun, but also sad. Ooh! Who's your favorite character? Do you have a favorite character yet? How are you liking it so far? I'm doing a thing. It would have been so cool if it was the placement, man. That was my main thing I was thinking of. Okay, what else could it be? Shoved from behind and stabbed her in the back. Wait. Maybe I'm overthinking this, but... So they're saying that when they were fighting, the scarf fell off. And then the scarf fell in the bridge, and that's how it got dirty. You know what's a little bit suspicious about the mud placement? Is the fact that all the stains are like on the little like tassel-y area. There's a little bit elsewhere, but that kind of makes it seem like she just fell forward and then got it dirty and it didn't like come off. But I feel like that's not something I can directly prove right now. It just seems convenient. Prisoner on the bridge. They're having a confrontation. This is a picture from a witness, and they're saying like, oh yeah, so the guy on the left with like the striped outfit is like a prisoner, and that's our defendant, and they're claiming that he stabbed the woman on the right. So we're trying to find something wrong with what's being proven right now, so we can argue against it. I'm trying to find that right now. I'm excited to learn more about Ravi's stars comment. I like Admiral. Ooh, nice. That's a hello, Jam. How are you? Thanks for stopping by today. How are you? Thank you so much for the follow, Raccoon Dragon 483. Thank you so much for the support. I really appreciate it. Thank you. How are you? Doing all right? Yay, I'm glad you're doing all right. There's something I'm not, cause like, it is true that like, okay, this picture wouldn't show the blood, but like, her in the trunk doesn't show the blood, and you would think there's more blood also, but like, I don't know. Use the trunk picture. Hello, Kiwi. How are you? Thank you so much for the raid. Let me do a shout out for you. There we go. How are you? Hello, everyone. My name is Riley, and it's nice to meet you. We are currently working on trial day 1 of case 4 for Ace Attorney Trials and Tribulations right now. But aside for Ace Attorney, I also play Honkai Star Rail, Pokemon games, Fire Emblem games, the Devil May Cry series, and the Yakuza series. But hi, how was your stream? What did you play today? I hope everyone's doing well. Hello, Camly. It's been a while. How have you been? Wire friends, hello, I miss you. Yeah, it's been a while. I hope you've been well. Bro, there's like something I am not seeing here. I genuinely thought it was their positioning. The lady looks like the standing emoji. Just stand. I think it's suspicious she's wearing a hat, guys. Okay, it's definitely the statement, though. Because this one feels a little bit weak. That's when the scarf fell off. Like, that's a reasonable deduction. I feel this is probably the one that stands out the most. So Buffet ravens have 17 primary wing feathers, which are the feathers at the end of each wing. These are known as pinion feathers. Crows happen to only have 6 pinion feathers, so the difference between a crow and a raven is only a matter of opinion. Oh, interesting! Thank you for sharing with me, Jam! Ooh, 16 and 17 of them, huh? I don't remember which one was which, but then are they both similar in matters of intelligence? Because I don't remember which one it was. It might have been crows? Or quite smart. I think they have an intelligence level of like a 7-year-old or something. They know how to solve puzzles and like sort things. I saw a video online where somebody trained theirs to like find money on the street. And then it just like fly back in and there was like a drawer with like money or something. You want to say old friends? Yeah, me too! We're the old friends earlier. Oh, thank you, Cammy! But I was playing Rivals and Sonic Riders and Sonic Classic games. Ooh, fun! Do you have a favorite? It's more of a joke than a scientific fun fact. Oh? A joke? Wait. Maybe I'm not getting the joke. I thought it was a scientific fact. I do not have a favorite, but enjoy. Ooh, they're all good. I love how Gumshoe's just looking at me angrily right now, and he's like, come on, Aurelia, you know the answer. I don't know the answer. It's gotta be the statement, right? What if I'm like focusing on the statement and it's not the statement? I think I would just be devastated. Okay, so let me break this down. The criminal shoved the victim down from behind. That implies that her back... Okay, that's like dumb, but like why would your back be facing the criminal and then stabbed her in the back? And she went oof, and then she like fell forward, and then in that process the scarf fell off and got dirty. And then he took her and he put her in the trunk of his car, and then he tried to drive off past the checkpoint. But I will lurk in by Aurelia. Have fun. Thank you very much for lurking, Camly, and thank you so much again for the raid. Thank you. Take care, Ressa. Sleep well. Good night. Thank you so much for stopping by today. Take care. Good night. Only a matter of opinion. Oh, opinion. Oh. Oh, that's a funny one. Let's see. Criminal shoved the victim down from behind and stabbed her in the back. That does agree with the autopsy report. Died from blood loss. 40 feet in the air. This is not it, because we just used that. So Your Honor, where did her hat go? Wouldn't that be crazy if it's like, where did her hat go? Anyway, the criminal shoved the victim down from behind and stabbed her in the back. Stabbed her in the back. She's lying there. It doesn't look like she got stabbed in the back, but... Wait, she's wearing a scarf. Stabbed in the back. Yeah, the way it's oriented has like the tassels over there, so the tassels could miss the blood. They weren't covering her back. Why is there no blood in the trunk, though? Oh, I don't know. I feel like let's see. It's not... But it has... I don't know. The picture. There's something significant about the picture. She's standing there with the hat. It's not the positioning, apparently, that she's standing there, not in the back. It stabbed her in the back. Didn't they mention earlier that there was a knife lodged in her back in this picture? Yeah, so that's not super significant. It's just showing us the picture for the first time. Your Honor, objection? I don't think you can see anything with that fog. I think this person's lying. Okay, he's right for this one, though. Yeah, I feel like it's the second to last statement. But he is saying there's a struggle. I wonder if that's the case. It looks like she didn't remember about the scarf. That is weird. But from what she said, it sounded like a pretty violent fight. The area was wet from rain, which would explain why the scarf was all covered in mud. But there's something else about this testimony. What if it's the scarf? It's not the positioning, huh? Drizzling, stabbed from behind, stabbed her in the back. So, in that case, blood loss. There would be an awful lot of blood, wouldn't there? I really wish I could see her back in the other picture. So it would technically have gone on the scarf then. I don't think it was like, let me see. There was a struggle. Yeah, and then it looks like she didn't remember, but it sounded like a pretty violent fight. Let me analyze that a little bit more. So he's saying that must be when... Yeah, so he's saying that when she got stabbed, that's when the scarf fell off. So the scarf must have had a little bit of blood on it, wouldn't it? Because, okay, autopsy report checks out. This is not the case. Oh, it's gotta be this somehow. Let me see what Mia cooks, maybe? I don't think it's the other ones, is it? It's not the bridge. It's not the bridge. The bridge doesn't show where each of them was positioned. The bridge is probably later where it's like, where were they actually standing or something. Victim's note is not important. The crime photo. No. Okay. Okay, there's something here that I'm missing. Shove the victim down. I wonder, what if it's not stating it? That must be when the scarf fell off. Jabbed from behind and stepped her in the back. I really thought it was positioning. What else can you say? It's not these three, I think. In the back. Yeah, that does check. Shoved and stabbed in the back. Died from blood loss between 4 and 5 p.m. He met her around 4:30, so that kind of checks out. This is not important right now, I believe. Is it really so simple as to say that if she got stabbed in the back, there should be blood all over the car, but there's no blood all over the car? Is it really just that? I mean, they did find a knife in her back, but then... I mean, how would you get a knife in someone's back without there being blood, actually? They found a knife in her back here? There's no blood in the car? Is it really as simple as there's no blood in the car? But then the autopsy report does say that she was stabbed in the back, and that was her cause of death. It's not the scarf. It has to be the crime photo. Maybe I will click on this and then I'll see what Mia says. Oh, is it? So at the time of the crime, there was a light drizzle coming down, correct? Yeah, and fog too, just a generally soggy atmosphere. Well, I have evidence that doesn't go with the soggy atmosphere. Oh! Oh! Oh my gosh, I see it! Her jacket's not wet. Her jacket looks dry. Her jacket does look dry. I don't see any, like, splotches on her coat. But this is a photo of the victim's body that was found in the car trunk. Considering the conditions at the scene of the crime, something isn't right. Well, by all means, please enlighten us as to what isn't right. What is it about this photo of the trunk that doesn't fit with the conditions that day? Condition of the trunk. Let's check her shoes, guys. So this was broken into. There's no water. What am I supposed to point at to say there's no water? Just like at her stomach? Do I just point at her stomach? Uh-oh. Let's see. What would specifically prove that this specific picture disproves or doesn't correlate with the... I would say it's just her jacket isn't wet and there's like nothing soggy looking in the trunk. It's like the absence of anything wet in the trunk and her clothes being relatively dry. Is it just like her clothes somewhere? Let's see. She has, yeah, there's like no wet splotches here. Am I going down the wrong path? I want to point out, Your Honor, there's no wet spots in the trunk. Cause this, I assume, is what the police did. The police probably were like, oh, you're smuggling a body. I'm gonna break into your trunk. There's no windshield wipers, Your Honor. The muffler. The lights. The car looks relatively intact. There's this thing. Her shoes aren't wet, Your Honor. She's not wearing her hat, that's for sure. I don't know, the main thing I'm thinking of right now is her clothes aren't wet. If we're talking about weather and it being muggy, then her clothes should be wet, but they're not wet. What else about the car? I think they're asking about the car, though. What's up with the car? Something about the car that's wrong. The car. The car doesn't look wet, but I don't know if that's like the limitations of this photo. The car looks relatively clean, Your Honor. It doesn't look like it's been kind of muggy and dirty out. Ooh, I don't know. Maybe I'll like press somewhere and then I'll see what they say after. It is like something to do with weather though. The fact that if she was out there, her jacket would be soaked or at least kind of like wet and muddy, you know? Ah! It's the mud. It's the mud. She doesn't have mud on her coat. If her scarf has mud and they're saying, you know, she fell on her stomach, then where is the mud on her stomach? Is it just her shirt? Ah, there we go. Yeah, it's not wet and there's no mud on it. Because if she fell forward and her scarf got dirty, then her coat would also be dirty. I think that's the point. That's exactly what's strange. Call the testimony. What were the conditions on the bridge that day? It was drizzling and foggy. Dusky Bridge was all wet. Her coat's just built different, you know? You just shake it out a few times and it's good as new. If the victim really had fallen down on her stomach on top of the bridge, then the front of her coat should have been covered in mud. That's exactly right. The other day I fell on a muddy street and my gorgeous blade of purpose. Aight, bro. I do admit that the crime scene was quite wet that day. However, that doesn't mean that the top of the bridge itself was muddy. If Your Honor had fallen in the shower instead of on a muddy street, your glorious hockey beard, pride of the legal league, would be wet and not muddy. Fortunately, I have yet to test that. Still, your point is well taken. Can you prove that the surface of the bridge was muddy that day? I mean, we're saying the scarf fell on the bridge, right? The surface of the bridge, huh? And then the scarf fell on the bridge, so because the scarf is dirty, then her jacket should be dirty. A real man wouldn't stand for a taunt like this. Neither would a real woman. Of course I can. Aw, man, 3 HP bars? It's gotta be the scarf. There we go. The evidence is the scarf. Oh, should be obvious. If the scarf fell onto the bridge and got this muddy, it means that the bridge was obviously covered in mud. He's been bamboozled! No, I can't be outwitted by this novice bimbo. Hey, that's not nice. Hey, same to you, buddy. Miss Faye's assertion makes perfect sense. I do admit that there appears to be a contradiction between the condition of the victim's coat and her scarf. However, Your Honor, have you considered that this coat is perhaps waterproof, so when it started raining, all the mud got washed off? However, the real question is, why is there a contradiction? Huh? For every contradiction, there exists an explanation. Oh, he's gonna make us explain it. He's saying it like, for every force, there's an equal and opposite. Let's look at what the explanation in this case may be, shall we? Alright, it's not like he's really giving me a choice here. Ha! You're doing pretty well for a little kitten. I'm doing my best, bro. Mr. Armando! No matter what he says, a contradiction always comes down to a lie. I'm telling you, there's two different people here. It's either the victim discovered in the trunk, the witness's photo showing the defendant and the victim. Bro, was this one of the cases where it's like somebody's body got shoved in the back of the car again? And it's a red car also? Guys, if you ever decide to buy a car, do not buy a red car. I think this is the second time a red car has gotten a body hidden in it. Do not buy red cars. Red cars are bad. Welcome back, Alpha! He learned from his father! Just a little mistake. We found out the coat was muddy, so that's a little suspicious. What the heck? Right? That's not very nice of him. Like, tone it down, bro. Have some respect. Or the witness's testimony that stated she saw the moment of the murder. Honestly, like, the trials and tribulations dialogue has been kind of unhinged. Just relax and think it over. It's pretty simple, isn't it? The false evidence is one of those. Edgeworth, you gotta drink your respecting women juice. I think he forgot to drink it this morning. What you just said just now, I'm not sure I like that. That wasn't me, Your Honor. It was the coffee aficionado over here that said it. The court's not in the habit of accepting false evidence, you know. Blame it on him, Your Honor. He's the one trying to slip false evidence in the court. You wouldn't dare! You know, Armando added a teaspoon of respecting women protein powder in his coffee. You know, it called for 2, so he's a little bit lacking there, but like, he made an effort. But we won't let him. We'll expose his evidence as the flimsy scam it really is. Yes, the false evidence in this case is the... because the body in the trunk is indeed the person that died. The witness's photo is specifically probably taken to frame the narrative a certain way, so it's a testimony. Edgeworth's edgy twist. Come on, Edgeworth, you gotta drink some respecting women juice. It is a no-brainer. Obviously, it's the witness that's suspicious. During his earlier testimony, the detective pointed out a crucial fact. The criminal shoved the victim down from behind and stabbed her in the back. Now, is that testimony exactly what the witness claims to have seen? Yeah, that's what the witness told us. testimony is filled with holes. After all, the victim's coat isn't dirty at all.
That's true. Ha, it's not just true, it's the truth. If there was a truly decisive witness in this case, I'm certain that boy Wendover would have called them in the first place.
Trying to hide evidence again. That's not good, Edgeworth. Your Honor, the defense requests to cross-examine the eyewitness. The testimony presented so far is not only vague, but contradictory as well.
Well, Mr. Edgeworth, it appears that we'll need to hear from your mystery witness after all.
You should brace yourself for the brutal truth. The what now?
Your Honor, the prosecution has no intention of hiding the witness from the court. We are prepared to present our witness at any time. Very well, please bring forth your witness at this time.
What Mr. Edgeworth said kind of worries me. What does he mean by the brutal truth? Strange.
Now let's proceed with the testimony. Mr. Edgeworth, please go right ahead. Thank you, Your Honor. The prosecution summons the woman who saw the events that day with her very own eyes.
This is it, Mia. The battle begins here.
Witness, what is your name and occupation?
Of course! Of course it's this exact Dahlia!
So, wow, she sounds nice.
Everyone is so silent that I can hear their hearts going pitter-patter. Talk to Dahlia. Tell her this time. Oh shoot, they're related. Oh shoot, I didn't mean to fast forward, oh no! Dahlia Hawthorne. That's my cousin.
You look as scrumptious as a double-double and a dozen donuts.
That's kind of creepy, Your Honor.
I feel like I want to hurry up and hand out a verdict just to have...
Oh goodness, sir, no. Hey, not so fast.
As I said before, this witness is very sensitive and delicate. I would ask the court to please exercise caution when addressing her. Yes, indeed. Thank you, Edgeworth. True gentleman.
But you just called Mia the word?
Miss Faye, you can learn a lot from this man.
He's such a gentleman. He sure doesn't act like one of me. Sir?
Yes, my dear?
This is my first time, so I'm sure I'll make a lot of mistakes. Anyway, I just wanted to say I'm sorry for all the trouble I might cause.
No, not at all. There's no trouble at all.
Now then, may we please have your name and occupation? Melissa? Girl keeps making up names for herself. Your name's not Melissa. I know who you are. You're Dahlia Hawthorne. What? Nobody's buying that. I know who you truly are.
My name is, Melissa Foster. I'm a college student, a freshman in the literature department.
How does Miss Melissa keep getting herself into all kinds of trouble?
You were on the scene when the unfortunate event occurred, correct?
And you were the one who took this photo. You know what's funny? They said she's delicate, but also she's out here camping out when it's drizzling in the mountaintops, taking pictures of flowers.
And you were the one who took this photo. Is that accurate?
Wow! How could you be so mean? I'm just asking you if you took the picture, man. I'm just asking.
Now, see here, what are you doing shoving that in her face like that?
Huh? But it's just a photograph. It's not like it's something dangerous.
Next time I'll be forced to penalize you.
I don't like the turn this has taken. Is she staring at me? Hey, Dahlia, how's it going? Nice trip, Edgeworth, right? Doesn't he look so good in that fit? Hello, Nia. How are you? Thanks for stopping by today. How are you? Don't hide her. No one talk to Dahlia. Resist her charm. Is she staring at me?
And you would be?
Huh? I'm the defense attorney. My name is Mia Faye.
I see. So you are.
Now then, young lady, could you give us your testimony?
Yes, Your Honor. I'll do my best.
Dahlia's going on more side missions than Kiryu went on my Yakuza 0 run. She's like everywhere.
I was using my camera to take some pictures of wildflowers. Then I noticed there were two people standing up on the suspension bridge. Suddenly, they just started fighting. That's when I hurried and took the photo that shows the crucial moment. And right after that, I called the police.
By the way, where were you standing when the incident occurred? I believe the map would be of help here.
I was standing right over here.
You sure you were standing there? That's a very clear photo for someone standing there, though. No, you were closer. You were on the other side because the cliff is blocking everything. Is this when we disprove that she was standing there by showing the picture?
I was standing in a beautiful field surrounded by tall cliffs.
So you took the photo from that location, eh?
I brought the camera I was using at the time, just like Mr. Edgeworth asked me to.
Ho ho ho! What a cute camera, just like his owner. Ho ho ho. Alright then, Miss Faye, time for your cross-examination, but I warn you, make the witness cry again, you'll feel the wrath.
We're doing this again. What if she just cries every single statement? So I have to be careful here, huh? He's gonna be upsetty spaghetti. So why were you using a camera to take a picture of flowers? Kind of suspicious. I've been watching you, Sarah, with Tadakamochi. That parasol isn't fooling anyone, Dahlia. That parasol's shielding her from any accusations. Why did you take a photo? No, don't ask her that.
Well, the two of them were really going at it. Ever since I was a little girl, I always wanted to be a news reporter. I guess that part of me just kind of took over.
Smells like a lie to me. Yes, I understand completely. Even now, I can't completely abandon my boyhood dreams. I still use my grandson. It does my cover routines on.
Hey, it's never too late to start your stand-up comedy routine. So you wanted to be a comedian, huh? Not that it has any bearing on this.
I could see this use my camera, so I took the photo of the crucial moment and gave it to the police.
I kind of want to press her more, but like I'm scared. What if there's like new evidence we get? Okay, maybe I will save here and then I will press and see if I actually get penalized for it. Was there anything strange about the two of them?
I'm a bad girl, I know that. It looked like they were having a really serious conversation up there, so I decided to watch them, like some kind of peeping Tom.
No, not at all. Everyone's like that. You know, trauma. I love watching other people fight too. In fact, I can't get enough of it.
Is that why you became a judge? So you could watch people fight in the courtroom?
Actually, that's why...
Of course he would.
Actually, that's why I took this job in the first place. Too much info, Your Honor. In any case, it's perfectly natural for you to have kept watching them, especially dressed as they were.
Well, anyway, I was watching them very closely.
Thank you so much for the follow, ProGod45438N. Thank you so much for the support. Really appreciate it. Thank you. How are you? Suddenly, they just started fighting. And then I took a photo. And after that, I called the police. Is there one thing where she says where she was located? Because she said there was like cliffs around her. Like she couldn't have taken that picture. Where's the statement where she talks about the position she was at? I called the police. Didn't she mention somewhere where she was situated? Because the cliff is a very, like, jarring thing. Because there's no way she could have taken that picture from where she claimed she was. There's a giant cliff there. She was on the other side of the cliff.
But it's only February.
Well, I couldn't wait for Sam to come.
Oh, I know how just you feel. It's just like when I first started growing this glorious beard of mine. I just couldn't wait, so I wore a dyed blonde Santa beard until mine grew in properly. Would you mind if we get back to the facts of the case, Your Honor?
He's like, I don't care about your beard. Then I noticed there were two people standing up on the suspension bridge. Suddenly, they just started fighting. That's when I hurried and took the photo that shows the crucial moment. And right after that, I called the police. I need her to talk about her placement, because her placement is very jarringly different. It's not the right place she should be. Numbers are good! The biscuit? What's going on?
You called the police.
Yes, because it looked to me like the murderer was trying to escape.
We were already moving before the call even came in, thanks to the victim's note. That was certainly tough luck for the criminal.
The note. I don't know who Dahlia is.
Careful, kid, and that girl has the judge wrapped right around her little finger. You're gonna have a tough time poking holes in that testimony of hers.
You're gonna have to come up with something real good, Mia. Two people? And then they fought. And she... Where's this? Did she talk about where she was located here? Or just why was she taking the photo? No. I want her to talk about where she was when she took the photo. We did get her camera. Small, powerful model. I don't think this... There's a tripod attached to it. I noticed there were two people standing up on the suspension bridge. If you were where you claimed to be, you could not have taken the picture or noticed there were two people standing on the suspension bridge because you claimed that you were actually over there. But it doesn't have the map isn't updated. But I remember distinctly she said she was right there. So one of her statements must contradict the placement that she said she was at. I was using my camera to take some pictures of wildflowers, then I noticed there were two people standing on the suspension bridge. Then they were like fist fighting, and then I took a picture. Okay, so this statement is fine. The first one is also fine. You could argue, no, you didn't notice there were two people standing on the suspension bridge. I wonder if it's the picture. Because the picture is what shows that she wasn't there. But she doesn't say in her statement where she was situated, or else I'd show the picture. Yeah, if she said she was like standing there. Oh, maybe we gotta do it reverse. We gotta show the map. Started fighting, then I took a picture. Yeah, this one, it's not very helpful because she's saying, oh, I wanted to be like a news reporter when I was young, but that doesn't really correlate. Maybe it's the fact that she noticed that there were two people standing. Dressed as they were. I was watching them very closely, then they started fighting. Do you have any idea what they were fighting about? No, I have no idea. Oh, I just thought that maybe you overheard. I would never eavesdrop. I've got more class than that. Didn't you but you were looking at them.
That's right, Miss Faye. Don't drag the witness down to your level.
That's a strange reaction she had there. So, we've pressed out all of them now. This is not good. Notice there were two people standing. Then they started fighting. I know Dahlia kind of starts crying when you get a little bit close to the truth. But it could also be her putting up a front here, because Here she's saying she didn't know what they were talking about because she wouldn't eavesdrop. Wouldn't a normal person say, no, I was too far, I couldn't have eavesdropped? But it's a statement as a standalone, I think. So that's when I hurried and took the photo that shows the crucial moment. Why did you take the photo? But this statement seems a little weak on its own. I do really want to prove. I need to find out which statement is best to prove that she couldn't have been in the location she was claiming she was. How tall did they say the cliffs were? Cliffs should be pretty tall. That's like a whole, like, elevated thing, so she couldn't have seen it if there were cliffs there. Noticed, and they started fighting, and then I hurried and took a photo. But it's true, because if we consider the statement by itself, that's when I hurried and took the photo that shows the crucial moment. What if this is one that's like two statements? I think the main point we're trying to prove here is she couldn't have taken a photo with that perspective, and she couldn't have seen them fighting it out if there was a giant cliff there. But let me see, the bridge is located 40 feet above Eagle River though. It might be the camera perspective, because I don't think they said... I'm assuming that the cliffs are roughly the same height as the suspension bridge though, because it looks like the suspension bridge is being supported by those white lines, and then the white lines are connecting to the cliffs, so those should be relatively the same height. So assuming that, the elevated cliff should also be 40. So if it's 40 like this, and then it's 40 back here, like the same height the back. That's kind of difficult. I mean, technically speaking, if you were Dahlia, maybe you could poke your head really, really far and look, but I'm Cookie. Is it good, Cookie? I really do think the train of logic here is she couldn't have taken that picture. Because this is also a lot more zoomed in, and there's a cliff there. Is this where I present the map and go, no, you couldn't have taken the picture? I'm gonna try that. Maybe this is the wrong statement, but... Wrong statement, maybe. I do think that's the right train of thought, though. Maybe wrong statement. That's when I hurried and took the photo that shows the crucial moment. I do think it's the cliff. I do think it's the cliff, though. Because in the picture we have here, it's a lot more zoomed in. It doesn't look like the picture of somebody that has a giant cliff. In fact, it looks more like if Dahlia was on the other side of the cliff, closer to the suspension bridge, because there's nothing that's obstructing her picture here. Oh, and also, if you were to angle your camera up, like the people would be smaller and then you would see more of the bottom of the bridge. So actually, Dahlia might... This is relatively level. So Dahlia took this from 40 feet up then. She was on the cliff. She wasn't on the other side. She was on the cliff. She was on the cliff. Okay. Now to decide which is the best statement. Okay, so she was on the cliff and she was looking because the camera perspective is right there. They didn't like the statement. Oh joy, Dahlia Hawthorne. Probably should have stuck to thinking of what command deck to make this. I think it's like absolutely diabolical that we saw Dahlia's name and I was like, no way, it's the same Dahlia. And then it was like, hello, my name is Melissa Foster. And I'm like, no, it isn't. And I never played the AA games myself, but I follow the logic. Ooh, thank you, Cranium. I think that is the best outcome here. I don't see like another one that really speaks out to me. Oh, I see that. I noticed there were two people standing up on the suspension bridge. Am I nitpicking too much? Standing up on the suspension bridge. Yes, it could be that they're on the bridge, but what if she means up, like they were above her, but they actually weren't. They were on the same level as her. Wouldn't that be crazy? Okay, so she's saying that she spotted them and she took the picture. Now, two things we could do is maybe presenting the map is too soon. Maybe that's the follow-up. Maybe we present the photo back at her and say, actually, this is not the case. And then she's like, what do you mean? It's like, oh, look, in this picture, there's no cliff. You're saying that you were over there, which means there would have been a cliff. And then the judge will be like, okay, then where are you proposing Dahlia was standing? Oh, she was actually on the cliff. Okay, now I gotta figure out which sentence it is. I don't think it's the suddenly they just started fighting. That's kind of like objective. Actually, the Gathering contemplating making a deck with blue in it. Oh, have fun, Seaweed! Let's see. She took a photo. Yeah, so maybe it's not the photo itself, it's where she was. Maybe it is. Okay, maybe we are nitpicking her statement here up on the suspension bridge. I mean, you could also interpret up on the suspension bridge as like on the suspension bridge. But most people would say they were standing on the suspension bridge, wouldn't they? Instead of standing up. Up implies that you were below them. Is this when we show the picture? No, it's not. Okay, I do think the train of logic is right, but I think the presentation is not. There are people standing up on the suspension bridge. It's definitely with the perspective, but what is the statement? Started fighting, then I hurried and took the photo. Yeah, she did take a photo. Okay, maybe it's the up. Maybe we will nitpick her on the up. And notice there were two people standing up on the suspension bridge. Oh, maybe actually it's the map then. It's not the crime photo. So if it's not the witness's photo, probably what they want to they probably want to say, no, actually, from this photo that we're discussing, it's not up. It's, you were just looking over there, and then they'll have us. No? Maybe it's the wrong statement then. Okay, it's gotta be the wrong statement, maybe? But I feel like the train of logic is right. It's just the statement. They started fighting, then I took a picture that shows the crucial moment. I believe for this one, the crucial moment one, I showed the bridge because she's talking about this photo. Wait, let me break this down. Then I noticed there were two people standing. So the picture shows that they were standing and having a civil conversation, it seems. Then they started fighting, and that's when I took a photo. They weren't fighting in this picture! It's as simple as they were not fighting in this picture, I bet. Oops. Oopsie. Okay, I'm pretty sure it's just they weren't fighting in this picture. And then maybe her positioning comes a bit later. There we go. Okay, we had to backtrack a little bit. Okay, witness, when you said you took a photo of the crucial moment, is this what you mean? All I can see in this photo are two people having a civil discussion with each other. You testified that you saw the two of them starting to fight. Normally, that's the kind of thing we would refer to as a crucial moment. Why haven't you presented a photo like that?
Well, you see...
Why would you take 2 photos of, you know, isn't that a little suspicious? Like, just a photo of 2 people having a civil conversation?
The photo we presented was the only one there was.
Suspicious. Why would you take pictures of 2 random people on a bridge? But if you really wanted to capture the crucial moment, then what happened next? You must have taken a photo of it. Yeah, I thought you said news reporter instincts.
Duh. My apologies, young lady, but Ms. Faye's assertion is not without a certain amount of merit.
Can certainly downplay a situation, can he?
I'm sorry, I'm really bad girl. I used it all up with the film, I mean.
Still doesn't make sense why you took a picture of 2 people just standing there, though, before they even started to fight.
You ran out of film?
This photo was the last one.
Let me check your camera roll, actually. Did you actually take pictures of flowers?
Unfortunately, that is the truth. I personally examined all the photographs she took that day. All the other photos are of the witness herself playing among the wildflowers.
The witness herself? Then who took the photos? It's a tripod.
Well, you see, my camera has a timer feature built into it.
Oh my gosh, like case 4 of the first game. So you took photos of yourself?
I remember taking some photos of myself once too. It's what the kids call selfies, right?
Please, no details. I'm calling this judge TMI judge.
It seems that Miss Faye's assertion was not so decisive.
What do you mean? I'm not done. Wait just a minute.
Well, if she had no film left, she couldn't very well take more pictures, eh? Miss Foster, perhaps then you could tell us about a different sort of photo. Photos of the incident that you took with your very own eyes.
Mr. Edgeworth, you're quite the poet.
Very well then, let's get back to the cross-examination. Let's hear your thoughts on the fight that you witnessed.
Yes, Mr. Judge.
Boy, this guy is really a sucker for sweet talk.
Ha! Looks like the other kid in the room is the one that's getting all the attention. Gotta sharpen up those claws, kid.
Yeah, it's sickening.
I was using my camera to take some photos.
Oh, we're back here! Oh, new statement though! Okay, she's giving us more details now. Intriguing, intriguing. You're the number 2 young Get out of here, Audrey! Or, I guess you can't exactly get out of here, huh? You think you noticed something? Ooh. The victim, why do you think she tried to run away? Oh, with her police training, she certainly knew better than to turn her back on a criminal. She could have disarmed him.
This was a large, powerful man with a knife. If it had been a quaggy woman like you, I'm sure she would have acted differently.
Quaggy? Why you... Not very nice, are you, Edgeworth?
If it had been me, I probably would have jumped into the river. Woo woo.
There's still something wrong with this testimony. So she's saying that she turned around and tried to run away, but then she got stabbed. So that kind of does explain that she got stabbed in the back. But you know what that does? So I guess she's saying that she turned, ran away, the criminal chased after her, stabbed her in the back, and then she fell. That still doesn't discount her fall, though. Her jacket's still not muddy. No one's answered the muddy jacket question. I'll wait till you see it. Thank you for reading, Kernium. Thank you, I really appreciate it. Quaggy, come on. He's using every single word. I just know Edgeworth solves his like wordles in two tries, like every single day. Bro has expanded vocabulary. She only got about 10 yards. You know what's a little strange? The 5 yards listed here. 5 yards. And you know what else is a little bit weird? Okay, we need to know the position again of where the witness and the... I'm guessing... How... There's like planks missing though. I want to know more about her positioning. Where exactly was the witness? Because she couldn't have turned and ran if let's assume that the victim was on the right side. If she was on the right side, how could she turn and run? Like, there's no road there. She would have to turn towards the dude. In that case, she's facing front to him. And she would have gotten stabbed from the front instead of back. Or you could argue that she was... But then, you see, she asked him to meet her, so it wouldn't really make sense for her to be closer to the car, and then the criminal was closer. Because in that case, like, she could just turn around and run, and there's like a car there. I'd get in my car, you know? That's a little strange. That's what you thought too? A little suspicious, isn't it? Bakushin song? You want me to sing the Bakushin song? Thank you so much for the song reading, Sogi! Okay, I will study up the song and I will record it and post it on Twitter. But please look forward to it! I'll practice it! What's the best way to let you know once it's uploaded? Should I post it on Discord channel? I can put the link on Discord channel and at you. Bridge located 40 feet above Eagle River. Strange, 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 strange. So you're saying Sergeant Hawthorne wasn't able to get away from him? They don't look related, not gonna lie. I think Dahlia dyed her hair, because they do have the same eye color. Well, it's a narrow bridge and it's swinging back and forth. If you ask me, both of them were in danger of falling off. I only wish I could have done something to help her.
That seems to make sense.
But something's just kind of off.
Hi, does it now? You have a good sixth sense. When you feel that something's off, that's when you need to figure out why. Terry Fallis wasn't the criminal. Then there must be something strange in that girl's testimony. Careful, kitten. That girl has the judge wrapped around her finger.
Bridge a little weird. Bridge a little weird. You know what's a little strange though? The 10 yards. 10 yards is very specific. How would you know it's 10 yards? 5 yards. I'm like trying to measure it out with my finger right now. Okay, this is how far it is between my two fingers. Dude. How long is the bridge? Did it tell us how long the bridge is, or just 40 feet? Let's see. Dude, if she got 10 yards, she was like out of there. I would have gotten in my car and ran, like... like, it looks like 10 yards, unless the map's a little weird. Let me see what she says here. Why do you think she tried to run? Why would she show her back?
As a buff guy, I would run.
I would jump into the river. 10 yards is very specific. So you're saying Sergeant Hawthorne wasn't able to get away from him.
Well, it's a narrow bridge and it was swaying back and forth. If you ask me, both of them.
10 yards. 10 yards is too specific. And that red text. I also think it's a 10 yards. Okay, thank you, Gradio. It's too specific, right? I don't know about you guys, but like if I saw this thing going down, my first thought would not be, that's 10 yards. I'd be like, oh shoot, she ran in the right direction or the left direction. Yes! I have a mistrust of precise numbers now when I play Ace Attorney. I'm like, how do you know it's exactly 10 and not approximately 10? I think that's suspicious. Witness, your testimony is a joke.
Miss May, I thought I warned you not to make the witness cry. Get out of my courtroom.
I love how she does the cool, like, bangs thing. She's like, watch me. 1 short testimony and 2 bad contradictions. There's no possible excuse.
Is there 2 contradictions?
Honestly, we could use the judge's face as a new reaction image. You know, like the Elmo gif where he's just like staring into the camera, and then there's like the fox one from Zootopia. I think his name is Nick. This is another one we can add. It has the same vibe. It's simple, just take a look at the diagram of the area. According to her testimony, the two of them were in the middle of the bridge. But if they were, and the victim had turned around and tried to run, well, then she would have fallen through. She would have hit a dead end. We said 10 yards, but she couldn't have run even 5, because Dusky Bridge is collapsed on that side. Yeah, it was the collapsed bridge! Woo! Man, where are the tax dollars going in Japanifornia? This is kind of a hazard. Yeah, smart! Yeah, let's go, Cranium!
What does all this mean?
It's very simple, Your Honor. This charming little witness told a charming little lie. That's all there is to it.
This beautiful young lady has been lying to the court.
I know, it's a surprise, right? Just a moment, Your Honor. Mr. Edgeworth? Look, Ma, I can be a lawyer! So, when's your first court case? Are you gonna become a defense attorney, or are you gonna follow the ways of Mr. Edgeworth? You know what the first thing you should do is? You should go to law school, and then when you're done with law school, you gotta, like, show us your badge. That's the most important hallmark of being a lawyer in Japanifornia. Your attorney's badge. It's proof of your profession.
Your Honor, allow me to personally apologize for the confusion. What do you mean? There is one major mistake in this diagram.
What did you say?
What are you referring to? It's all because this diagram was made after the incident occurred.
So you're saying the bridge was never collapsed before?
It's a very old bridge. We couldn't find any official blueprints of it. So you're saying? I'm saying that even though this bridge is currently in disrepair, there's no evidence that can prove that the bridge was broken during the incident.
You're really gonna argue this? Oh my goodness. You're telling me you didn't have any from the previous case? That happened 5 years ago? Oh, it doesn't show the broken planks here either.
There's no evidence that could prove that the bridge was broken during the incident.
That's ridiculous.
You can't actually tell the condition of the bridge from this photo. I apologize to the court for not being more clear when I presented the evidence. Oh, yes. Oh, that guy is good.
Huh? What do you mean?
He planned it from the beginning. He's a genius, alright. That diagram of the bridge was his insurance policy.
What the coward?
Miss Faye, seems you have once again made a reckless accusation.
You gotta have court files on the bridge from the other case, right? Let's go ask Gumshoe.
I'm so sorry. I should have been more careful myself.
No. It wasn't your fault at all. People forget things sometimes. Now then, shall we go on with the trial? I'd like to establish once and for all what it was the witness actually saw. Indeed. All right, young lady, may I ask you to please proceed with your testimony?
But it's so hard to go on.
We're all on your side, Miss Foster. There's no need to worry. Just tell us what you saw.
Yes, sir.
Presents a sugar cookie lure patch! Let's go! Nom 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 nom.
Wow, that's a very delicious lore badge you got there.
No, Mr. Judge, that was proof of my capabilities. I feel like the judge would take it and eat it, and then it's like, wait, no, that was my badge.
That's my badge. Oh, sorry. I just saw a very delicious cookie and I just ate it.
It's all your fault. Am I cooking? Perhaps. Running from the crime. After he stabbed her in the back, he quickly picked her up in his arms. Then he carried her over to the car. Bro cleaned up real well then, because he doesn't have blood on his arms.
I suppose that was the only way he could have made sure the body stayed hidden.
Couldn't just leave the body on top of the bridge.
I'm sorry, I'm only supposed to talk about what I saw.
Look at her, like, subtly leading on the jury. Like, oh, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to. You knew exactly what you were doing there, girl.
Witnessing such violence must have been difficult.
Yes, sir. I'm still shaken up.
If he accepts his testimony as it is, we're finished. Don't say that. Oh, well, maybe I'll stop off on my favorite cafe on the way home. $20 coffee. They make a really great mocha latte. This trial isn't over yet. That's what I like to hear. All right, Miss Faye, your cross-examination, if you please. The contradiction is staring you right in the face, Mia. Go on to the attack.
My badge! You owe me compensation, Mr. Judge! Mr. Judge, please. My years of hard work in law school. Proof of my tuition!
Sorry, but, yeah, I'll ask, the Department of, I'll ask them, hopefully they'll be able to get you one.
After he stabbed her in the back, he quickly picked her up in his arms and he carried her over to the car. You see, the part still doesn't make sense, though. He said he stabbed her in the back, which is true, she did get stabbed in the back. But where was she running to still? If we establish that she was here, and she was on the right-hand side, where's she running to? Her back is to the broken pathway. Is she... They must have just fumbled and switched positions somehow? That's a little... A little bit weird there. A little bit weird. The victim didn't fall down on the bridge? Oh, maybe she did fall. You sure about that? Because, what about the mud on her coat? Of course she didn't fall down from the bridge. If she had fallen down, this photo would have made sense. But she definitely fell, so this photo still doesn't make sense. If that was the case, her coat would have been all muddy. If you don't mind, I was asking the witness. No need to be so rude. Well, young lady?
Of course she didn't fall down. The man in the prison uniform grabbed her before she could.
Okay, so what they're establishing here is while they were beefing, the scarf fell off. The scarf fell on the bridge, and that's how it got dirty. And then our defendant caught her before she could fall, and that's why she doesn't have mud on her coat.
Oh, we're one step too slow. And then what did the defendant do after that?
Then he carried her over to the car. I think the first statement is really suspicious. You personally witnessed that?
Yes.
Did anything strange happen when he did that?
Well, I don't know if you'd call it strange or not, but that's when the victim's scarf fell off.
You mean this scarf?
Her words match what we found at the scene. I don't see any problem. You mean the defendant carried the body all by himself?
Yes.
What about the ball? Wait, I gotta find the other picture. But he was holding the ball. That's crazy. He's strong. Considering the size of the defendant, I don't think it would be difficult. Yes, but let's remember they were on a narrow bridge that was ready to collapse. Is it even possible for him to have carried a dead body on a bridge like that?
Well, the fact of the matter is that he did. That kind of talk is just silly.
Wow, why did he get so emotional all of a sudden? Something suspicious there.
Miss Faye, if you think there's some other possibility, please share it with the rest of us.
Why do you say that? It's already a broken down bridge hidden away in the mountains. Doing anything more to hide the corpse would be going overboard, wouldn't it? Honestly, they said whoever falls in the river they can't find. So as a criminal, especially if you had connections with the first case, wouldn't it have made so much more sense to just toss the person off?
Yes, but that mountain is famous among hikers. A surprising number of people go up there.
But also carrying somebody would raise some alarms, right?
But it's February, right? And it was...
But it's February, right? And it was raining that day, correct?
There's also a small temple and a channeling dojo there. You know those monks, they just love cold, isolated places.
I think the witness is trying to say that the corpse could have been found at any time. Besides, the witness is merely reporting what she witnessed with her own eyes. Is she, though? Is she, though?
Yeah, I can't trust Dahlia. I wouldn't trust Dahlia. Why would someone go risking falling off that rickety bridge by trying to help her from falling down? I guess he wanted that coat for himself. He was like, gonna wash this coat afterwards. It's so drippy. I need this for myself. Can't spoil the good coat. Can't trust Dahlia, gang! And you're absolutely certain that it was my client who was carrying the body? Well, he was wearing a prisoner's uniform, but as for his face...
So you're saying you didn't get a clear look at his face?
Well, they were far away and it was raining as well. I thought I was only supposed to say exactly what I saw.
Excellent, you're a remarkably honest young woman.
Isn't that what this testimony's bothering me?
Hey, you ever put salt in your coffee?
No, why would I?
Why not? Sea salt coffee, you know? They actually go better with coffee than sugar, right? Listen, my point is, if you're not sure, you might as well add a ton of salt to it. It might bring out the rust in something, like a piece of evidence.
So he's telling us to really go nuts.
By the way, I wouldn't put salt in my coffee. The two don't go well after all.
Present something to get more evidence, and then we'll get a follow-up. The true culprit is gross work. His hemorrhoids made him Oh no, they're starting to speak to him! They're controlling his mind! Oh no! Weird. Okay, I'm gonna revisit what she said again, and I'm gonna analyze it a little bit more. So she's admitting that she didn't fall, because then the picture of her in the trunk wouldn't have made sense. That was just so cool that he didn't let her fall, you know? A little strange. And he carried her over. A little weird, because you would think the scarf would maybe end up in his arms instead. Well, I don't know if you'd call it strange or not, but that's when the victim's scarf fell. When he was carrying her home. We have to present something to bring up some more dirt, and then we'll probably get something else from it. Because the thing that doesn't make sense about her testimony is how they got the bridge in the car. She keeps dancing around that. I don't know what you would call objection to this case, though. Yeah. Basically, she's saying that he stabbed her in the back. But, like, that's still a little bit weird. I mean, her back was to the broken bridge. But somehow, they scuffled enough that got stabbed and then picked her up with the steel ball too, apparently. And this part is important, that the victim didn't fall on the bridge. And she's like, wait, maybe she did. Actually, I don't know. That part's a bit suspicious. She's definitely lying about something. But then she explains the scarf afterwards. Let me see. So we're assuming that bro was cool enough to not let her fall. Then he carried her over. It just happened to fall off when, you know, guys, that scarf looks pretty secure. I don't think it'll just fall off like that. So Judge, vibe check. I'm not feeling this.
Back from watching you play in a minute courtroom. Hello, Kevin. How are you? Thanks for stopping by today. Let me do a shout out for you. There we go. There we go. How are you? Which play did you watch? Well, thank you so much for the 5 stream, Kevin. Thank you so much for the support. I really appreciate it. Thank you. Dead Bunny and the ball chain combined with the struggle lifting would have caused that Reikidale bridge to collapse under the stress or weight of the commotion.
Right? Like, that bridge looks like it's on its last limbs. I don't know how to tell you, Judge. It don't make sense. You mean the scarf? Her words match what we found at the scene. But how did it fall off? Like, it just fell. Let me look through my evidence again. Weird. So somehow she was over there, and then he stabbed her in the back, which doesn't really make sense, but like, okay. And then she fell. And then he was cool enough to carry her back to the car. You know what's... The fact that, like, the positioning of the picture shows that our defendant was facing right, which means that he caught her. He somehow, without his hands free, did a whole turn to walk back in the direction from whence he came. That doesn't make sense. That doesn't make sense to me. Actually, he could have also tossed her, you know, like over the bridge. She is a little bit hesitant about that. She did stutter there, where it was like, he carried it, yes. But, yeah. Could he have even... And Edgeworth is getting surprisingly very defensive. There is something wrong with this train of thought. The fact that he carried her by himself all the way there. Something is wrong with that. I mean, because this one is fair. It's like there's people there, and it's like, oh, sorry, blah, 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 blah. It's this one. They carried her over to the car. Yeah. He has... No. Yeah. Something about the carrying process is wrong. There we go! Just happened to fall off, yeah, likely story. Just happened, yeah, that part's sus too, because it's like... If I had on a scarf and somebody carried me, I don't think my scarf would go whoosh. Yeah, the weather combined with the state of bridge and the state of the defendant makes that testimony make no sense. The victim would have been both drenched, covered in mud and her own blood. Yeah, and when they arrested the guy, he would have had like blood all over his hands because he caught her. And that means that his hand was probably behind her back and she died from blood loss. So like, nobody's talking about whether he was found with blood all over his arms too. There's blood on the scarf anyway. Yeah, there's no blood on the scarf either. I guess one thing you could possibly argue is maybe the front part is like too short. Because there's like the two ends of the scarf, right? We only see one side here. So the way she tied her scarf, it doesn't look like the second end is right in the front. Maybe the second end is actually near the back. In the case of the second end is towards the back, actually the scarf would have had some blood on it. But then if both of the tail ends were up front, you could argue. But she's pretty short. So let's see, if you stab her right in the back, it's a lot of, no, it would have splattered. I think it would have splattered. Like, and then, especially since she has a very short body, like for the prisoner, he's kind of big, you know, like his back is pretty big. So like maybe it wouldn't have gone as much, but yeah, there's no blood on the scarf. If there's no blood on the scarf, that implies that the scarf fell off before she got stabbed. they did say that the scarf fell off during the scuffle. Yeah, for someone who died of blood loss, there's a sure lack of blood anywhere near the crime scene based off these photos. Right? It's almost like she got, like, suffocated or something instead, and they just planted the knife in her back, and they were like, oh shoot, she got stabbed. You know what I mean? Dang, that's kind of an oopsie on the forensic team, though. If she really died from something else. Yeah, there's a lot of weird things going on. What is, like, the weirdest thing we can point out here? Let's see. Okay, yeah, the last three statements don't really work. After he stabbed her in the back, he picked her up in his arms, and then he carried her over to the car. It's a standalone. Didn't fall down on the bridge. So where's the mud? Yeah, then it's like this picture wouldn't make sense, then it would be muddy. So she didn't fall. So in that case, yeah, she didn't fall, which means the scarf got stained when it just miraculously fell off her neck when she got carried, which means the scarf was on when she got stabbed, which insinuates the scarf should have had blood. Then he carried her over to the car, and you watch the whole thing, and then... that part doesn't really make sense.
You mean the scarf?
Yeah, so we got some issues here. The lack of blood is a very big one. The lack of blood. Why is there no blood anywhere? For someone who died from blood loss, there is a lot of lack of blood in this case. Confidential. Photo of the trunk of his car. Found on Dusky Bridge. I have to find out what's the biggest thing I should present. Let me make sure the body stayed hidden. It's the first two. He stabbed her in the back, then he picked her up. Then he carried her over to the car. Was this one the one with the scarf? Carried her over to the car, and then now she's saying... I want more information here, so maybe I'll just present the scarf and be like, yo, can you tell me more about this? Her words match what we found at the scene. So they found it and it just fell off. But what about the blood? What about the blood? Yeah, she's like... I think the hard part about her testimony is not that it's not sus. Like, it's very, very sus, but it's like pinpointing what's the thing we have evidence to specifically pinpoint her on. Because it's kind of bad all around. Like, I could nitpick so many things, but also, like, it may not be a strong enough nitpick. She being tricky. She pretending she confused. Confusing us in the process, too. He picked her up. Okay, I want to revisit what she says here. So now she's claiming they didn't fall, and then the scarf just kind of went. The photo wouldn't make sense. The foot would be muddy. She didn't fall down. Grabbed her somehow on the shaky bridge. You know what's interesting? If you stab someone on the back, right? And didn't they say at the beginning the knife was still in her back? Because it's like a bridge where... This is like a very unstable bridge. So if you were to stab someone, isn't the force of a stab to your back something that would push you forward? So in that case, wouldn't she be pushed towards the broken planks? So she would be pushed away from the guy. So somehow bro is just so good at catching people that she got pushed forward in the opposite direction as him, and he managed to scoop her and then just on a really unsteady bridge. There's so many things that don't make sense. And then what did the photo do after that? Have you guys ever been on an unsteady bridge before? The moment like a blood is mentioned, Edward will probably update the autopsy report. Maybe that's the point. Like he's just like, oh my bad. Anyway, actually she didn't die from lack of blood. It was something else. Picked her up, and then he carried her over. I want more information. It's like this whole testimony sounds like one big lie, but like what can I nitpick? Then he carried her over to his car. I suppose that was the only way to make sure the body was hidden. Objection. Actually, he could have just tossed her in the water. Uh, all by himself. Kind of weird. Kind of weird. Yeah, can you even... Yeah, he got emotional. That's a little weird. Maybe I should be presenting here. He stabbed. Okay, okay. We assume that is correct, I guess? I assume that was the only way he could... This is a bit of a strong statement, because this, by itself, is kind of like a flat statement. And she did get stabbed in the back. And I don't think we have anything that proves he didn't scoop her up, because that does align with the fact that her coat's pretty pristine. So maybe it's this statement. I suppose that was the only way he could make sure the body stayed hidden. And Edgeworth got kind of defensive here, and Dahlia also started stuttering. Something's going on here.
Knife would probably have small fluids on it, but yeah, that scenario makes no sense.
Yeah, I think the knife would have like a lot of stuff on it. They're not showing us the knife, which is a little puzzling. I feel like we could learn some stuff from the knife too, but maybe it'll come up later. Nobody's... No! This whole case does not make any bloody sense. Like, where's the blood? They keep talking about how she died of blood loss, but then we don't have a single thing that has blood on it. I suppose that was the only way we can make sure that... I want more information from her. I don't like what I have. You just remembered something? All by himself, carrying the thing. Stabbed her, he would have been propelled forward. And he just did. He just had to. I mean, the defendant carried the body all by himself? Yes. He is really buff, it's fine. Well, he just did. He just did. Don't talk to me about it. That's a little weird. The way he there's something wrong with this statement. I suppose that was the only way he could make sure the body was hidden. You know, I really do think he could have just like tossed her off the bridge, because I'm pretty sure the first case, they say the victim fell off the bridge and they couldn't find her body. So given that he was involved in another case 5 years ago, he could have done the same thing. So why take her in your car? That's even more incriminating. Let's even remember to keep my mouth shut. Thank you for keeping it shut, Crania. Thank you. There's something I need to remember. 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 I wish we could shine our attorney's badge like Pokemon badges. Yeah, he could have yoinked her in the river below. There's nothing that says what happened though. I'm saying we could have just yoinked her. Like, that's the reason. That's an even better way to keep it hidden. But we don't have a case on what happened on the last, like 5 years ago. We don't have anything on that. Keep the body hidden. Not only that, but another thing that's weird is you're gonna move her around that often when she's dying of blood loss per the autopsy report. That means you would be incriminating yourself because you're dragging her, and while you're on the bridge, you know, blood is gonna be on the road. The blood is gonna show which car it was at, you know? Maybe you would accidentally also get some blood on your car, you know? But then she was found in there. There's no blood on the car. You see, there's no blood on the car. That's also kind of weird. You and me are just on the same lane of lawyers solving crimes. Hmm? Oh, you and CV? Or did I say something? Sometimes I say stuff and then I'm like, was that something I brought up? I suppose that was the only way he could make sure the body stayed hidden. It's updated autopsy report. Oh my gosh, not the updated autopsy report. Knife in the back. Yeah, okay. But she's bleeding a lot. I think blood is the key here. The fact that there's no blood anywhere, but she's dying of blood loss. Mentioned that they said anyone who fell in the river will end up missing. That's how I remember. Oh! That would work. That would work. I have to find a piece of evidence that says that. Do I just show the map again? And be like, you could have pushed her into the river or something? You could have, I guess we show him the map? Edgeworth map. Map with, broken. Because I think that's the only thing here that shows that somebody could have been yoinked. Because we don't have a previous case file. No, it's not. Dang it. Sorry, it's my first time handling the case. I don't know. I don't know what I'm cooking. Yeah, they could just push her in the rapids. Oh, did I press it on the wrong statement? Maybe I pressed it on the wrong statement. Oh, my bad. It's this one. I suppose that's the only way. No, he could have. There we go. Okay, it was just the wrong statement. I went on the wrong one by accident. A killer not wanting his victim to be found, I can understand that. However, the idea of moving the body for that purpose is clearly odd. It was a much easier way to make sure the body wasn't found. And there's no blood trickle. Oh, my bad. Autopsy report. Well, what is it? Take another look at the map of the area and you'll see how. There's a river right below the bridge. Earlier, Mr. Edgeworth pointed out something interesting about the river. For those who are not aware, Eagle River is well known for its powerful current. Nobody has been found. Yep! Oh, yeah, that's what he said! Most bodies that fall in are never recovered. Ah, in the kidnapping case 5 years ago, the victim's body was carried away and never found. If 10 murders were to occur at that same spot above the Eagle River, you can bet your boots that every other killer would have tossed the body in the water. The way the same thing happened, like, last time, and then nobody fixed the bridge is kind of crazy. Order, order, order. I'm not sure if I care for the way you put that, Mr. What do you mean? But I must admit, it does seem odd not to have thrown the body into the river. Ooh, well, Mr. Edgeworth? How sad. Perhaps Miss Fay would do well to try taking a dip in the river herself. Tell me to vanish, how dare you? After all, you claim to be such an expert in the ways of nature. I mean, I'm just saying what you said, Edgeworth! I think I understand why the fandom nickname for younger Edgeworth is Bratsworth now, because, like, sir? I'm like, sir? What are you talking about? My point is, no matter how odd you may find the killer's method of body disposal, the fact is that this is what the killer did. None of your arguments have anything to do with what the witness saw. Okay, but like, hear me out, Edgeworth. What if she's Cap'n? That would destroy this whole thing. Quite true. Miss Fay, it seems that you're... What? I don't think this judge likes us very much. Miss Fay, it seems that your assertion is without merit after all. What do you mean it's without merit? Ah, this judge. Armando, pass the coffee. I need some in my system. Going through it. But what the witness claims to have seen is totally ridiculous. I have many questions. Surely you can't deny that the body was found in the trunk of the car. That's certainly consistent with what the witness has told us. Please, witness, go on with your testimony.
I try.
All you have to do is tell us what you saw. Otherwise, Not him calling us the mean lady. Otherwise, the mean lady might yell at you again. What's he talking about?
Alright, I'm scared of the mean lady. I'll do my best.
I see. So a lot of her testimony is gonna be like her expanding, and she'll gradually give us more details and we have to break it down. What? That's not it? The heck you mean? Armando! Armando! I need Mia to like do the same thing she does with Grossberg. Just start shaking Armando and be like, Armando, I don't know, help! He's just lost in the sauce. Like, this is Armando Blend 45. He's truly lost in the sauce. He's just enjoying the hints of the coffee and watching everything go down in front of him. I'm gonna take a few bites of food. My beverage of choice today is the Aurelia Blend No. 2 Thai tea. Nom 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 nom. Nom, let's do dinner. Ooh, I have rice with salmon, and then I put like a ochazuki packet in and some water, so it's like soupy rice. It's so good because like the salmon adds kind of like a fishy taste, so when you add like the ochazuki, it kind of tastes like you're having a fish-based broth. It's quite good. Honestly, like if you guys ever need a lazy, easy meat meal, just like rice with fish and then like an ochazuki packet. It's so good. But I'm also like a very big soup liker, so maybe I just like soup in general. I like how the Edgeworth is really trying to get the proof of a card. He's trying too hard.
He's like, the last time I've gotten validation was from my dad. During that one court case, GL6. Miss my dad every day. Von Karma has never once told me he was proud of me.
Ooh, yes! When I want to song while he's only coming to do a chick me. She's like, tee-hee. After he stabbed her in the back, he picked her up, then he carried her to the car. New statement now. Anything else that's new? Nope. The killer broke into the... She's kind of semi-good at lying. This does make sense, cause... there is a broken thingy. But couldn't you also say the detectives broke it to rescue her? What did the man do then? Well, naturally he got in the car and was about to flee. You know what's a little crazy? Why did Bro need to break into the trunk? Like, how does he start the car that he stole if he doesn't have the key? Like, what she's saying implies that he doesn't have the key to open the trunk. But in that case, you need a key to start the car. So how is he starting the car? Maybe he just like drove off and he left it on for like the entire time? Like he just never turned the car off? He just like left it on park and then he walked away? Dang, I don't remember the last time I had salmon actually. I should change out one of these. Yes, you should! Have some salmon ochazuki. I'm trying to, yeah, only just get salmon wood grilled onion. Wood grilled salmon honestly tastes, like, it tastes good. Like, you get, like, the smoky flavor of, like, the wood and stuff. That's based. Windows notification! Your Honor, please ignore the Grand Theft Auto charge.
Your Honor, I wasn't stealing cars, no sir.
I was gonna say, yeah, how did he steal the car? The only way he could have stolen the car is if they're claiming that there was a couple driving the car, right? So he must have kicked them out. Following this train of logic, he kicked them out, he stole the car, he went rum, 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 and then he drove. Yeah, he would have had the key. Because I'm assuming this is like an older model of a car, because nowadays I don't think as many cars have a key in the back. So in order for the car to even work for him to get here, it's most likely that the key was like plugged in to the car, like in the key socket thing. And then, so he could have turned on and off the key, left the key there, blah, 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 blah. But then that implies that he had the key, so he wouldn't have to break the trunk. Like, breaking the trunk would leave evidence, like, and if the police saw, they would know that there's somebody in there. So actually, if you were a criminal, wouldn't it be smarter to just unlock the trunk? If you have the key anyway, and just put her in there and then lock it again? And then start your car? I think this is the point. It doesn't make sense. Yeah, they're claiming that he broke the trunk. I honestly thought the detectives were the ones that broke the trunk. Hello, hello, Violet. How are you? Thanks for stopping by today. How are you doing?
And so that's when you called the police?
You're sure that you saw all that with your own eyes? Yes, I'm 100% certain. Chalk that to like 0%, because I don't think that's the truth. How do I casually bring up that he should have had a car key? So, Your Honor, the car key. What did the man do then? Well, naturally, he got in the car and was about to flee. That's when I came to my senses. I said to myself, you have to call the police.
And so you called the police?
You're sure you saw that? I think everything else should be the same. It's definitely this news statement here. The killer broke into the trunk of the stolen car and hid the body in there.
So actually, the evidence is my attorney's badge, which proves that I'm a lawyer.
Valery's autopsy report. And hid the body in there. Dusky Bridge map. Killer broke into the trunk of the stolen car and hid the body there. Is it really the car key? It's not this. It's not this. Yeah, not this. I'm pretty sure we have to show the trunk again. It's the trunk again. Do we just show her the picture and be like, yeah, how could he have started the car? He had to have had a key. How could he have started the car otherwise? He had to have had a key. I think it's the key. But do I show the picture? Because we're talking about the picture, but like, how do I bring up the key? I want to just tell him it's the key, but I have to present something. Unless it's one of those push-to-start cars, but even then you would need a remote for the trunk to open. Right! Because I'm assuming this is probably like a really old car. Because nowadays it's like you kind of have like a remote and it opens your doors and then like the key. You still need like some key apparatus thing in the box. So do we just show the picture again? Because I don't know how else to bring up the key. It feels like it's definitely the key. This game is originally from 2004 GBA Japan. Ah, so these are like old cars. Like the ones where there's like a glove pocket in the front. Is that what they call it? Like the little thing in the front where you put stuff? Because those also have keys. Like, he's gotta have a key. This is like low-tech car. Hello, Astro! How are you? Thanks for stopping by today. How are you? Yeah, the glove box! So testimony said the defendant pushed the victim in the car and drove away. Yeah, and that he's somehow like... He decided it was a great idea to break the lock on the trunk and open it up and shove her in there. But the fact that he drove away implies that he wouldn't even have broken the trunk because he had key. He shows the map again. He drove away. So she's saying he grabbed her, then he carried her to the car, and that's to the left. The killer broke into the trunk of the car, and I'm assuming it's that car, and hid it there. And then he drove away. She's saying she drove away and he drove away immediately, which makes sense because that's where he went from, then that's how he came down the mountain. He couldn't have gone the other way. Yeah, it would have been... So I think the direction he's going, car-wise, makes sense. He was on that bridge. That's on the same level. Did they say where Melissa was standing? Yeah, Melissa... Originally, Melissa said she's... Is this where we bring up the fact that Melissa was situated in a really weird spot? Because earlier, we were talking about how her photo looked a little weird from her perspective because she took it from here, but she couldn't have gotten a picture that crisp if she was on the other side. And she also couldn't have seen the car if she was on that side. So maybe after this we say, no, she was on the other side. This is where we present the weird perspective. Ah, that makes a lot of sense. You couldn't have seen it because there was a thingy blocking you. That makes a lot of sense. The car key also. We don't have a car key. Okay. Yes, it is! Okay, yeah, it's the fact that there's a cliff. Her photo was taken like she was waiting for the victim. Right! Like, it seems a little bit too situated that she knew exactly to stand right here. Like, I thought you were frolicking in the flowers on the other side. Also, thank you, Cranio! Thank you for reminding me of that! She called the police and he drove away? Yeah, she was like, I'm out of here. I'm just gonna... He's going down the mountain. Yeah, she couldn't even see the car. The name derives from the original purpose of the common for storing driving gloves. What years did they use driving gloves? Probably like when cars were first invented, huh? When they put the body in the trunk, they could have... Yeah, Edward says just because he did. You see, there's like so many questions. I'm like, it just does not make sense. Hello, Sketch. How are you? Thanks for stopping by today. How are you? Hello, Sebastian. Thank you so much for the follow. I really appreciate it. Thank you. How are you? Like, this thing was planned. Knowing Dahlia, that's probably what happened. We never trust Dahlia. Like, I wonder if what I guessed is actually what ended up happening. Like, I'm pretty darn sure that this is not the victim. Like, the victim already died and was put in the trunk. There was this encounter here, and then our defendant thought they were having a civil conversation, took the car, drove off. And this is like the same thing that happened to Edgeworth in that one case, where he drove his bright red car, and somebody actually hid the body of, I believe, Detective Goodman was his name in the back of the trunk, rise from the ashes. They're doing it again! Guys, don't get red cars! Especially not flashy red sports cars! Flowers, I ask? Ooh, not sure. She didn't tell us. Well, Miss Foster, looks like you've done it this time. Question mark? Done what? Made a crucial mistake. Crucial mistake? Like what mistake? The killer broke into the trunk of the stolen car and hid the body in there. You're saying you saw that, right? With your very own eyes? Yes, and... It's simple, Miss Foster. Take a look at the diagram. The place you claim... There's a cliff. Miss Foster, there is a cliff. The place you claim to have taken the photo from that day is here. Do you see what I mean? Even if you try to see the car, you couldn't. You are not 40 feet tall, Miss Foster. This outcropping of rock is directly in the way. That's right, Miss Foster. From where you were standing, you could not have possibly seen the killer's car. I admit that the diagram shows a large outcropping of rock. However, have you considered that the rock fell down after this blueprint was constructed and no one else had a picture of the cliff right before? He's gonna make the same point he did with the bridge. However, isn't so tall that it would stop her from seeing the car. Sir, it's... Have we not established that it's 40 feet up? Dahlia's like, what, like 5 feet tall, probably? Shorter than 5 feet?
That's right. It's not high at all.
I was able to see his car just fine, because you weren't in that position. You were not there. That's why you were able to see him just fine. I'm so sorry, but that just doesn't wash. I believe it was the witness who presented this as evidence to the court, yes? This is the location that the photo was taken from. Your own photo tells the whole story. You can clearly see the left side of the bridge, but the outcropping that is being referred to is really more than like a cliff. Oh, your view should have been completely cut off by this cliff, but still you claim to have been able to see the killer's car. I'm saying she was on the other side. She's gotta be on the other side of the cliff. That's the only way.
Order in the court. What's the meaning of this?
Edgeworth is like grasping at straws right now.
Your Honor, don't jump to any hasty conclusions. The fact that the escapee fled in a stolen car was reported on the news.
But she said she saw it with her own eyes.
After witnessing a murder, I'm sure you can appreciate that the witness was very upset.
But sir, that doesn't explain the thingy, the outcropping of rocks, sir.
She must have heard about the stolen car and convinced herself that she saw it.
He said Dalulu. But she was repeatedly warned before starting her testimony. She was told to testify only about what she saw with her own eyes.
Mr. Judge, I think I must have remembered things wrong. I'm so sorry.
Hey, wait a minute. You can't just say that. Not the Von Karma finger waggle.
Miss Faye, no one on the face of the planet is perfect, except my family, of course. Yes, indeed, quite true. You know what they say. To err is human, to forgive divine. I'm inclined to give the benefit of the doubt to our witness here.
What's not fair? Dang, they just all hate Mia.
Ha, save the tears for later, kitten.
Mr. Armando.
Don't look back till the trial is over. Now is the time to go forward.
But that wasn't fair.
Okay, kitten, you need to relax. Then you need to remember.
Bro is putting his elbow on the coffee stain. You're gonna drench your shirt.
The other kitten's testimony.
The killer broke into the trunk of the stolen car and hid the body in there.
So tell me, how did she know that? How did she know that he broke into the trunk? Aha!
And she also wasn't in the courtroom earlier when we first presented that picture too, right?
Well, Miss Foster, until you can explain how you knew that, you're going to have a lot of very suspicious people on this side of the courtroom. Whoa, witness.
Yes, I'm certain that he broke into the trunk
because there were marks left on the trunk lid that you only could have seen if you were right next to the car. Like, seeing to that level of detail is crazy if you were back there.
There certainly were scratch marks from when he broke into it.
Well, let me see that photo. It's true, there certainly look like scratch marks around the keyhole. It's obvious that the trunk has been broken open. Well, Miss Faye, are you satisfied?
The judge is on her side. I can't make any mistakes here. She just said, is there a contradiction in there somewhere? It doesn't work. She still could not have seen it. You're thinking it's a shadow? It looks like there's scratch marks. Feels like everyone that meets Dolly ends up in jail or dead, right? Feeney got lucky. Like, Feeney got off fine. That's why he became a lawyer, because he was like, I feel like I've been exposed to this field. It's time. It's time. Oh, true. Where are the flowers in the forest even? The fog, too deep. I don't know what she's photographing. Rise from the Ashes was actually written after Game 3. Oh, really? Because I know Rise from the Ashes was on the DS first, right? Wait, that checks out. The bridge is 40 feet above the river. Yeah, it's a little hard to see if you were not on the cliff. She's claiming that she was back there, but she wouldn't have seen all that. Honestly, where she most likely was, given the camera perspective, is she was on the cliff. But also, the fact that she saw the scratch marks implies that she might have been closer or, like, found a way to go down and snoop around. Because this, if she was on the cliff, you only see the left side of the car. You maybe could have seen him fidgeting with the trunk, but you wouldn't have seen the scratch marks. The scratch marks imply she was relatively close. But then also, like, the camera perspective is a little bit off. because you have to angle it up. I don't know, the picture doesn't look like it's angled up, but maybe I'm like overthinking that aspect. Yeah, because this one looks kind of like on par. Maybe we should like zoom in her picture or something. Can't get worse, right? Come on, Edgeworth, you can do better than that. He's still learning. Gosh, prettiest law in the world of Ace Attorney. Yeah, like so many witnesses keep lying. Like what happened to swearing to tell the truth? I mean, when Armando puts his elbow on the table. Oh, is it? I thought it was coffee, because I saw him in a different pose earlier. I can't believe I made him my understudy. Yeah, probably. Dang it. I can admit that people make mistakes, but I can tell when people are making stuff up to save their own eyes. Besides, forgiveness is already overruled in the courtroom. Honestly, if you did something wrong, you know, you gotta own up to it. What she just said, is there a contradiction? Melissa Foster, it looks like you finally betrayed yourself. What? You said you were in a field taking photos of wild flowers, but even so, you knew about the scratches. The question is when? When did you get the chance to see those scratches? Not taking pictures of flowers now, are we? Finally, I finally got her. Ha, I'm getting pretty tired of waiting over here. Then perhaps it would be faster if Miss Faye explained herself.
Your Honor, there's only
one possible explanation. Eh. Do you want to save? The reason the witness had seen the scratches was... She's the owner of the car, what can I say? She went to the car and she was like, oh shoot, somebody broke into my car. I want to accuse her, but do we have evidence? She had to have put it in though. She happened to be passing by. Cause passing by seems too convenient. You wanna I feel like the case is the second one, but I'm like, it's a twofold. I'm gonna do it. We're gonna accuse her. We'll get her. Because if you were passing by, to be honest, you wouldn't have seen the back of the car. You would have seen the sides. I don't think you would have really honed in on the detail. So truly speaking, the best perspective you can get is if you were the one who broke the car. There's only one way that the witness had the chance to see those scratches.
Yes, what is it?
Naturally, when she opened the trunk and stuffed the corpse in herself. And the person who really hid the body in the trunk of that car was Melissa Foster. It was you that did it, wasn't it? That's ridiculous. That could never. Dead people scare me. It was the man in the prison guard. He's the one who let... I don't think so, Miss Foster. If Mr. Fallis had been the one that put the corpse in the car, he would have simply used the car key. There was no need to break it open. Yes! It comes around! It has the car key! But he stole the car. He stole it from a young couple that had been waiting at a red light, which means that the car would have still been in the ignition. Oh, I see. Thank you for telling us about the scratches, Miss Foster. Without that, we never would have uncovered the truth. That it couldn't have been Mr. Fallis that put the body in the trunk. No!
Preposterous to even suggest that the witness put the body in there. If that were true, then how do you explain the photo that she took? The corpse could only have been put in the trunk when the incident occurred. We already know that at the time she was taking photographs.
Now is your chance, Mia. Finish this thing. On the contrary, I'm not so certain about that, Mr. Edgeworth. There's no need to think too deeply about it. What I'm saying is the shutter for this may not have been pushed by Miss Foster herself. Timer function! Let's take another look at the camera and see what features it has, shall we? It has a timer built into it, even a mini tripod. Why, it's almost as if she had brought this camera just to take this picture. Kinda weird. Knowing a little too much.
What are you trying to say then, Miss Faye? That when the crime occurred, Miss Foster wasn't in the field as she claimed?
She was not frolicking. Well, she really did use the camera's auto timer, then the answer is yes, she was somewhere else. Exactly, she was not in the field.
Would the defense please explain further? Listen, this is a crucial point. Where was Miss Foster when the incident occurred? In answering that question will also make clear Miss Foster's true identity.
Well then, please answer this question. She's gotta be like here. No! She should figure out where she stands if you catch my drift. Don't worry, the drift was certainly caught. Dang it. Okay. Was she really on the cliff? Let me think this through again. Because now we've established that it's the camera shutter. So she camera shuttered up here because it was more like, where was she when the crime occurred? The killer was there, the victim was there, maybe he... I'm confusing myself. Let me go back to the basics. I'm thinking too much about it and I'm confusing myself. Let's get Elias cooking! Cookies! Dear Kobe! Justice for the car key! Go for the jugular! Oh no! 2001 Game 1 for cases GBA Japan 2004. Game 3 GBA 2005. Game 1 5 cases DS Worldwide. Ooh! Okay. I will take a sip of my caffeine and I will ponder over this a little more. See, because I originally... The two places I was thinking of before was she was here or here. This... She shoved in the trunk when the crime occurred. Because the picture she took was like shuttered from around this area. She needed to be in a place where she could have broken into the trunk. Broken into the trunk. Where was she when the crime occurred, they said. So she had the picture, she could have picked up the picture afterwards and say that's what she saw. So, yeah, they could have been just chilling. Might not have killed her. Could have left. So, this could have been a fake victim. Okay, I'm gonna cook. I don't know if this is the right cooking, but I have a feeling that this victim is not actually the victim. I'm making conjectures, so it may not be correct. But the killer was talking to her, and maybe this is actually Dahlia. This is Dahlia he's talking to, and then they're having a conversation, and then let's say Dahlia, like, while the killer was, like, you know, elsewhere or over there, Dahlia already went in, and then, like, the positioning is a little weird, though. Like, the victim was here first. Oh, so maybe what happened was the real victim was chilling here. Dahlia killed the victim, and then... But then, let me establish the timing, though. She had to have found a way to shove the real body in the car, and then... Maybe she, because our defendant is claiming that he didn't kill anyone. He just had a conversation and then he drove in his car off. So sometime we need this car to be here. Let's see, so sometime between when our defendant arrived, the defendant would get out of the car. She would need to really quickly shove the body into the trunk, run out here before the killer comes out. That's a very, very small frame of time, though, because she can't do this ahead without the car. The car had to have been here and all locked and loaded before the killer was like, oh, nice conversation. And then he, like, went back in the car and he drove off. She has a picture of the guy in the garb, so I feel like she's actually here. And then she set it up so that when she was on the bridge, they could have a conversation and take the picture. I'm gonna make a very bold assumption here. I don't know if it's correct, but She's in the foliage, she's in the flowers, she's hiding. I thought she would have been by the car. That is true. Maybe I'm overly cooking. Cause I guess the two theories I have on my mind right now are she could have been by the car watching, so she would have seen the scratches on the car, because we've established that she was the one that opened the trunk. But then, would she have opened the trunk if there was nothing to put in the trunk? Because then she took a picture here to establish her alibi that she was right there. But then at the same time, if he was distracted, she could throw the body in. But how could she throw a body in if the victim was still alive? Because this is assuming that the killer actually did kill her. Then he killed, and then maybe he drove off. Then that would assume that Dahlia would have to run out and get the victim's body and throw it in the trunk. And by then I think the killer would have already entered the driver's seat and driven off. I don't know if I'm cooking really hard. What if she was in the victim's position? I think the victim might have actually been Dahlia dressed up. And she established her alibi by taking the picture here. But somehow she found a way to sneak the body in the trunk ahead of time. And she dressed up and met with him. That's why our defendant thought they had a civil conversation. And then was like, oh, nice conversation. This policewoman's actually really nice. And then I'm gonna make a really bold take here. I don't know if it's right, but I'm gonna say right after this if it's wrong. Oh, no way! No way! Okay, I'm still confused about how, like, she threw the body in the car so quick and ran back out, but I will not question yet. She's a runner, she's a track star! I like your logic, actually. I didn't think of it until you mentioned it. Oh, really? Thank you, Cranium. No, your point was good, too, because, like, the scratches on the car, like, she had to be nearby. Timeline conflicts. Oop, oop. How many years of jail has Dahlia gotten? Like, she somehow was out of jail to date Phoenix, right? I need to see, like, a step-by-step, like, track through of the crimes Dahlia has committed and how many years she got for each of them, because, like, how is the timeline working here? She's everywhere. Naturally, the witness was right here. But that's where the victim, Miss Hawthorne, was standing. Oh, shoot, that's crazy! Would it be crazy, Mr. Judge, if I proposed that, Miss Hawthorne was Miss Hawthorne, but the other Miss Hawthorne? Oh, no, Alpha, it's okay. Cranium's never played the game before. It's okay. And even so, a little bit of misdirection is good, so I can think for myself. But I appreciate you thinking it out with me, Cranium. Thank you. It really helps. Hello, Shadow. How are you? Thanks for stopping by today. How are you? Because it's like our ideas can, like, bounce off each other, but, like, none of us know if that's the correct answer. So it's like, does this logic track? So it's really helpful. Thank you. Yeah, she was a fake victim. But yeah, I'm sure nobody here would try to trick me on purpose. It's okay. Everyone's nice. That's where the victim, Miss Hawthorne, was standing.
Order, order, order. Miss Faye, what on earth?
Your Honor, if I may. After parting with the victim on the bridge, the defendant fled by car. And the body was already in the back. That would mean there was no time to put the victim in the trunk. In other words, if someone put the body in the trunk, it could have only been before the defendant met the victim. The couple in the car. Are you proposing that the... Yeah, because that's the only way. I was thinking for a split second earlier, I was like, there's no way you could just run and then shove the body so quickly. So before he even picked up the car and he stole it, somehow somebody threw the body in there already. What if the whole thing is orchestrated? Somehow, you know what'd be funny? If the couple they stole the car from was Dahlia and Phoenix. I mean, I think I was stretching it, but wouldn't it be funny? Is Dahlia and Phoenix in the red sports car. Dahlia had the victim in the back. Phoenix doesn't know, because Phoenix just doesn't know. And then She pretended to get her car stolen. She just bumped into this guy and she was like, oh shoot, no, my car. And then afterwards she was like, hey, all according to Keikaku. And then she like goes, takes an Uber or something to the other area. So it's already in the trunk. And then she dresses up and goes, hey, what's up? I didn't think that she would be a fake victim. Earlia's cooking. It's the hat. It's the hat. The hat is super suspicious. Would you wear a hat if you were suspicious? Or would you wear a hat in the fog if you weren't suspicious? Like, that's extra protection. I think that's paranoia because nobody can really see anything when it's super foggy anyway. That's Dahlia's, like, paranoia coming out to me. It could only have been before the defendant met the victim.
How asinine! Of course, Mr. Fallis met with the victim. The only person with the opportunity to have put the victim in the trunk is the same man that killed her, Terry Fallis.
You look into his big doe eyes and you tell me he could have killed a man, Mr. Edgeworth. Or a woman.
You still don't understand, do you, Mr. Edgeworth?
By the time the witness's photo was taken, the victim was already dead. The person in the photo was not Valerie Hawthorne. It was Dahlia Hawthorne! Okay, then who was it then? Then I present this. Oh wait, no, this. This right here.
What? I've never heard anything more ridiculous in my entire life.
Then who exactly? Ah, I knew it! I knew it! It's obvious, isn't it? It's your own witness. Her name is Dahlia Hawthorne.
What?
That's the only possible explanation. The woman that Mr. Fallis met on the bridge that day was not Valerie Hawthorne. It was you, Melissa Foster. Let's remember that it was raining and foggy on the mountain that day. Mr. Fallis himself believed that the woman in front of him was Valerie Hawthorne. And the note checks because it's wear a white scarf for identification because he can't see anything. It's really foggy out, but the defendant knew Valerie Hawthorne very well. After all, she was the woman whose testimony helped him get convicted. But since then, my client has spent 5 hard years in a federal penitentiary. He couldn't remember exactly what she looked like anymore.
You're just making this up as you go along. Where's your proof?
I've got it all right here. This piece of evidence will blow this case wide open. At the time of the incident, Mr. Fallis had forgotten what Valerie Hawthorne looked like. I think it's this. It's gotta be. It's gotta be. Mr. Fallis had forgotten the victim's face. That's why he needed some piece of identification, namely this muddy scarf. It was Mr. Fallis who requested that she wear this scarf to identify herself. That's already been proven by the note the victim left. In other words, as long as you were wearing a scarf, like he asked, anyone could have pretended to be Valerie Hawthorne. Well, what do you have to say to that, Melissa Foster? No! Dang, she vanished. Gone.
Where's Miss Foster?
I think she passed out. This is 6 months before Dahlia and Phoenix first met. She was dating the other guy! The guy who worked in the chemistry lab! August 27th for case 1. Oh, thank you, Astra! Only done concealing identities or hazards to an organization. Oh? What organization is that? Let's go! Cooking!
Where's Miss Foster?
You see, I will never trust somebody who is wearing a hat in the fog. Nobody can see you. Why are you wearing a hat?
She's collecting herself in the lobby.
She did not pass the vibe check. It's obvious that Melissa Foster did it. She hid the body in the trunk and disguised herself as the victim. She set up the camera to snap a fake photo of them. Honestly, what is Dahlia doing instead of going to college, actually? She's going on so many side missions, like... Wait, if this is 6 months before Dahlia and Phoenix met... Did she even go to jail?
The only question is, why did she do it?
Well, isn't it obvious? She's the real culprit. Huh.
Well, we'll have to wait for Miss Foster to compose herself before we start again. Until then, this court is in recess. The defense and the prosecution are both to wait in their respective lobbies. Yes, Your Honor. Understood. Very well. This court is in recess.
Sussy. Gosh, crazy things happening in this case. Ba-da-ba-da-ba-da-bum. Part 1-2 trial. Oh yeah, 13. Organization 13, Kingdom. Oh, Kingdom Hearts? I haven't played Kingdom Hearts before. Committing crimes without direction or attitude. She's honestly just committing. I honestly think she just likes to commit crimes for the for the sensation of committing crimes. Cause so far we know she's involved in this case where she hid the body, killed the victim. Then we have the Feeny case where she tried to frame Feeny and pretend she wasn't framing him, and then she also poisoned a lawyer. That's 3 crimes under her belt already. Like, what is this Dahlia doing? She's in it for the love of the game. No, she's like, I'm a little bored today. What should I do? Crime. Feeny, you know what would be the best thing to go with my afternoon tea? What is it? What is it? I would really like some crime brulee. Would you mind, leaving me to my devices for the time being? I'll see you tomorrow. And she goes off and commits a crime or something. Kay-san was being a second child. This is her first 14 months earlier. Yeah. Didn't she say during the second trial that her first trial really, like, shook her up? I guess this is, like, the very trial that kind of got her, like... And then she was like... Didn't she also hint that she recognized Dahlia? Oh my gosh, it comes full circle. You're not missing much of Kingdom Hearts 1, especially Chain of Memories. Oh, really? I'm wondering... Actually, yeah, I think this is probably a good place to stop. It's starting to get a bit late for me. Yeah, I think this is a good place to stop for today. I will be taking a short break from streaming, and I'll be back on August 16. I'll be starting Honkai Star Rail 3.5 Story Quest on that Saturday, and then the Sunday after, August 17, I'll be continuing with Part 1-2 Trial for Case 4 of Ace Attorney. Both streams are probably going to be at 8:30 p.m. PST. But yeah. But I'll be back really soon. Thank you guys for waiting for me. Chain of Memories is bad. I legitimately enjoy Devil May Cry 2 more than Chain of Memories. Oh, really? I know, like, Devil May Cry 2 gave me, like, pain. Oh my gosh, we do not speak of that infested chopper. I hate the infested chopper. I hate the tanks. They make me uncomfortable. Devil May Cry 2 was an experience. I actually don't know what the story is. Like, yeah, Devil May Cry 2. Melissa's totally a fake Elias. This girl's devious. Yeah. Can you imagine Mia seeing her again, like, 6 months later? And being like, I know you. Not Melissa Foster. Dahlia Hawthorne. You're not fooling anyone this time. Yeah, okay, it was a good stream, by the way. Thank you, Alpha. I'm glad. Let's get a special program code in HSR and Discord. Oh, I'll take a look. Thank you, Alpha. I think the only reasonable conclusion is that girl needs to... She doing too much. Like... I think she needs to find another hobby. You know? Like a harmless hobby. Girl, you can, like, knit. You can sew. You can, read books. Bake. There's a lot of hobbies, Dahlia. She shows crime, I guess. I will send the code. Okay, thank you. I beat up to chapter 16, I think, before skipping to DMC3. Also see you. Oh, bye, CB. Take care, Russell. See you. Good night. Thank you so much for stopping by today. Ooh, DMC3 was good. I like DMC3. My special program didn't come here. Oh, okay. Thank you. I'm excited. I'm excited for drip marketing for 3.6 characters. Just say, oh, when their stream. Okay, cool. Okay, yeah, I think this is a good place to stop for today. Thank you so much, everyone, for tuning in to my Ace Attorney Trials and Tribulations stream today. Today, we did the first part of the trial for episode 4, Turnabout Beginnings. I actually wonder if we'll have an investigations phase. It feels like this might be like an all-trial case. I'm glad we got to see younger Edgeworth. I like his fit. He is, he's kind of different in personality a little. we got to see a different side of Edgeworth today. But yes. But yeah, schedule will be, I'll be taking the next 2 weeks off to rest my wrists. I'll be back on August 16 and 17, 16 for HSR and 17 to continue case 4. Yeah. Okay. But if you guys are about to eat, I hope you guys have a good meal, and if you guys are about to sleep, bye, take care, sleep well, good night, and thank you so much for stopping by today. Honestly, it's crazy. Like, when I was doing this case, like, wow, like that ending was kind of crazy. Like, no, that was actually Dolly on top. I guess we'll find out why she killed her, though. They have the same last name, so I'm a little bit confused. Like, why is she, like, trying to kill her relative? Like, what is her motive? I guess we'll find out next time. But we will do a ponder. But yeah, if you guys are about to eat, I hope you guys have a good meal. And if you guys are about to sleep, bye, take care, sleep well. Good night, and thank you so much for stopping by today. Before we go for today, we'll be reading out So Many Things Going On. This case is kind of crazy. Today we'll be rating Hollow Cole, who's playing Silent Still 2, so let's go over there and show them some support too. But take care, everyone, and good night, and thank you so much for stopping by today. Bye, take care, sleep well, good night, and thank you so much for stopping by. He learned from his dad.
He's like, oh yes, Von Karma, yes. Von Karma moment.
He really, like, imitated all his, like, little, like, hand motions and everything. He was like, if I copy him, I'll become the very best. I'll be perfect. Most motives are money. Dang, somebody hired her. That's crazy. She just wanted to buy more cameras and clothes, I guess. Have a good one. Thanks for the stream. Thank you for tuning in today, Cranium. Take care, rest well, sleep well, good night, and thank you so much for stopping by. Bye. Bye, everyone. Take care. Okay, we'll be reading out to Hollow now. So let's show them some support too. But take care, everyone, and good night. And thank you so much for stopping by. Bye, good night, and I'll see you guys soon. Bye. Take care, and have a good rest of your week.